My name is Gus Farrow, and it's my pleasure today to host you in this webinar where we're going to just give a bit more insight into what we're doing in our partnership with the University of Essex Online. Thank you very much to my colleague for posting up the link there. If you want to find out more about the course directly after this webinar, you can get the link there. What I'm going to do is over the next 20, 30, 40 minutes, I'm going to go and just give you a bit more flavour than you might have got if you've ever listened to me jump into one of these webinars before one of the usual market experts has a chat, or if you just want to have a look at the link, you can get the basic info there. But the idea of this is to give you all a bit more colour, a bit more flavour, and also give you the opportunity to ask me questions directly. So what I'm going to do is I've got a set of slides prepared. They're going to give an outline. I'm going to waffle on and talk in a bit more depth about them. And if you have any questions along the way, I've got a little text box here so I can see when you say something. Just let me know, and I'll do my best to answer it. So yeah, without further ado, I won't keep you any longer, and I will get going. So if I click on the right bit. Okay, so what is the FTA? It stands for Financial Trading Analysis. We had a general feeling after kind of spending a lot of time in the education section, but not really being there, but having relationships with people that were there, that there could be a third way of approaching things. One of my thoughts as someone who taught themselves into kind of like the trading and finance sector, when you first start off, you find people that you like, people that you can listen to, and you follow their advice and you learn. And, this can be okay for some people who are flexible or they get lucky, but for some people there is a mismatch in the way that they are taught how to trade and their personality, their personal skills, their personal attributes. Now, what do I mean by this? Some people are just very instinctive with price action. They've got quick reactions, they've just got good instincts about the market. So for them to take more of a scalping route into the market makes sense. But they might come into trading and they don't know where to look. They come to FXStreet and they find a webinar host, and he's teaching them about maybe long-term technical analysis or looking at the fundamentals. They put their trust into this person because they're at the start of their path into the trading world, but they don't realize yet that this is a mismatch of their skills. Now, that's not to say there's anything wrong with taking that road and learning, because that's an important part of it. But what we've tried to also do is to give you an accelerated kind of exposure to the different areas. So we're saying, okay, well, we're going to, it's great. You can go and you can watch webinars and you can learn about this over here, support resistance trading. You can learn about portfolio management. You can learn about risk management here. But we don't want to teach you anything too definitively. We want to help you to understand yourself. And I chose this image here because it's a nice picture where it shows you there's a long road and there are lots of peaks and troughs and bumps along the way. And it's not a straight road; it wobbles a bit, and there's lots of distractions on either side. So we've tried to kind of like give you as many windows to look out of. So you can learn about yourselves as much as possible. I was always told when I first got into the sector, it takes 5 years before you can really call yourself a trader. And along those 5 years, you're expected to have a lot of pain along the way. And pain is good because pain, you learn from experience. If you burn out doing something stupid in the market, as I have done myself, then you learn and you don't do it again. It's the same as the reason why when you're a child, you only put your hand on the oven hob once, because you realise, damn, this hurts. I'm not going to do that again. And this is how trading is a lot of the time. You learn from your experience, and it's a long path. I always say this to the students on the course: there is no holy grail. If you do this course, you're not going to turn into a superstar trader after 4 months. But what maybe you will do is you'll come out in the end. You'll come out in the end, and you will. Gone out of there. Yeah, you'll come out of it at the end, and you'll know what interests you, where your skills are, and when you're looking for the next 4.5 years of where to go on your trading journey, you'll realize, well, you know what, I'm not really good at that. I'm very good at this, actually. Rather than trading, I should be doing portfolio management, or, you know, that the risk management process I was taking before isn't working, but I've had exposure to all these others. I'm going to try these in a demo environment and see which one works. This is what we want to achieve. Hopefully, we've executed them from the feedback we've had from students so far. I believe we have done. So I'm just going to give you a very quick rundown of this slide, and then we're going to go and look at the profiles of the teachers so far. First of all, we've got Eddie Toffpick. He's a good friend of mine. He is the head of FX at ADM Investor Services, who are a big futures broker. He's also fantastic at technical analysis, and he's got vast amounts of experience in the sector. Martin Eminoff, he's another contributor at FXStreet. He's a senior broker at Price Futures Group and based over in Chicago, and he teaches commodities and futures. Got Neil Greaves, another friend of mine. He's a head trader at a fledgling hedge fund called Blueprint Capital, and he teaches fixed income and quantitative analysis. Zoe Phillips is the head of sales at ORE, which is a technology provider aimed at bringing options into the independent retail trader space. So they are, pardon me, they are looking to do partnerships with all the different brokers that you guys might trade with and bring options into your arsenal of tools. Then we move on to Paul Gallagher, another friend of mine who's an independent portfolio management manager who's currently doing a PhD in finance right now. He's taught quite a large part of this, where he's covering equities, portfolio management, performance analysis, market psychology, and behavioural finance. Moving on, we've got Max Hopf, who's a portfolio risk manager at Al Qaeda Fund Management. Bit of a suspect name, I think, but it will do. And he's covered quant analysis and portfolio management. We've got Craig Drake, who's covering fundamental analysis, and he's an economist and journalist, formerly of FXStreet and City AM, which is one of the most influential financial newspapers in the UK, at least. We've got Gonzalo Moreira, CMT. He's Chief Technical Analyst at FXStreet, and he's doing technical analysis and system trading. And we finish off with Valeria Bednarik, who's the Chief Analyst at FXStreet, and she was doing intermarket analysis and risk management. And so we look at the structure of the course. Oh, no, sorry, I apologise. I need to go back, and I'll give you a bit more of info on their backgrounds. So if I just come out here, if we start off, so yeah, first of all, we have Eddie Toffpick, and so you can see he's got over 30 years experience in international commodity markets, 25 in FX, and he's a current head of FX at ADM Investor Services in London. He's held that job since 1991. As you can see, he's vastly experienced. He's also a member of the Society of Technical Analysts, an affiliate of the Market Technicians Association, and a member of the ACI UK. In shorthand, this all means that he knows his onions. Part of the, as you'll start to notice, part of the reason why we've chosen who we've chosen is that you can't really go wrong with first-hand direct experience. We could have done this course and made it much more theoretical, but we wanted to give you experience of people who've been out there in the trenches trading along in the industry for a few decades. So one of the things I've always noticed when I've studied is that there's like a missing gap between the theory and the practice. What you learn when you're doing your courses is slightly different to what you learn when you get sat on the trading desk. So we want to try and bridge that gap a bit. Okay, so let's have a look next. So we've got Neil Greaves. He's been prop trading for 20 years in FX and futures, vast experience in the fixed income bond space. He's currently head of Blueprint Capital, head of trading at Blueprint Capital. He runs a prop desk and he writes algo trading strategies in the FX, commodities and futures markets. Another guy who's been there, done that, got the T-shirt. He's probably forgotten more about the markets than most people know. So he's another great candidate to have. Zoe here, she's got vast experience in the FX space and she's moved on to RRE. So on this course, we're focusing mainly on FX options. So she's someone who's very active as well. So when you go on the course and you need help, she's always there to really jump out and really. Options can be very tricky when you're first getting your head around them, and she makes it very easy for people to get up to speed. Paul Gallagher, been in fund management more or less his whole career. One of the things that we tried to do on this course is not restrict ourselves to just trading or FX trading. We tried to show you about different asset classes and also different ways of engaging in the market. So as you can see, Paul here has come from a more classical portfolio management background. So one of the things that we're trying to do in this course is to give you an insight into how fund managers manage their portfolios from more of a technical perspective. So we get you to go out there, buy some stocks on Google Finance, and we download the data in Excel. We apply a few formulas to find out about the best distribution of your assets within your portfolio. This is what Paul's exceptional at. He's prepared some amazing Excel models for you to play with, where you don't have to worry so much about the theory behind them, but you can see the functionality. And this really delves into our aim for this whole course, in that we want to give you the appetite to understand how things work, but due to the length of time, we only have 4 months. We can't cover everything, but we want to open the door so you can say, right, I want to learn about how to optimize my portfolio in depth. I want to understand the theory behind it. I'm going to study that, and you can progress from there. Moving on to Mark, known as the Doctor of Commodities. He's been in the Chicago futures industry for 40 years. Doesn't really get much better than that, really. He covers 2 sections of here, and he also writes a report called the Nemenov Report, which he can send out to you every day. It's posted up on FXStreet as well, and his main approach is 75% technical, and he uses the remaining 25% for fundamentals. He's also uses options quite a lot, and he's always very vocal. If you want to talk to him, he's always happy to have a chat. Gonzalo Muera. Good friend of mine, Gonzalo, CMT designated trader, market technician, which means that he's a real smart guy when it comes to technical analysis. Gonzalo and I have actually just finished working on a project in the news section of FXStreet, where we have taken Gonzalo's knowledge, his deep knowledge of technical analysis, and we've turned it into like an algorithmic news generator. So we watch for certain things in the market, and when they occur, we've got a partner who turns them into a signal. When the signal is generated, we've got a pre-written news article, which gives you some nice in-depth knowledge into what's happening in the market. That was just to give an example of Gonzalo's level of expertise. He handles the technical analysis section of the course naturally, and also the system trading section. We have, who have we not covered? We've got Valery Bednarik, another good friend of mine, chief analyst of FXStreet, loads of experience in the sector, fantastic at writing reports and also teaching as well. So you can see here, she's been at FXStreet since 2006, and she's just unbelievable experience at helping people. Always very happy to reach out and answer questions if you have any. And she's teaching intermarket analysis and risk management. And risk management, I have to say, is something which a lot of people don't pay enough attention to. But really, it's one of the key areas. And Craig Drake, formerly of FXStreet, we need to update that, but he's moved on. He's an independent journalist and economist now, formerly of City AM as well, one of the most influential financial newspapers out there. He covers fundamental analysis, so really looking at like macroeconomics and how the different sections of the calendar can affect your trading and how to approach them. Okay, so I'm going to jump back now into my my PowerPoint. So we'll go to that. So bear with me, I'll just move that across. Okay, so this is the structure of the course. It's 100% online. You don't have to go anywhere to take the course. It lasts for 4 months. The study consists of lectures, additional reading, and trade or portfolio simulation. We do have written assessments and discussion forums which are assessed too, and we also really encourage group learning. What do I mean by all this? Essentially, if you look at the pictures on the right here, this is like a screenshot from one of the areas where we have. I've taken it from technical analysis actually, so you can see this is our the lecturecast platform. You can click on the different sections and it gives you a bit of a taster. So I'd actually chosen support and resistance. As you can see, there's a slide here covering different parts of support and resistance. Gonzalo is doing the chat at the time. And then you have a bit of it moves on and he talks about how traders approach using support and resistance. This is just a quick example, but this is the general format. So you go online, you choose a section that you're looking for, you watch the lecture, and you answer some questions at the end. Questions are not assessed, but they're there to just help you drill down and learn. And, just make sure you make the mental note of what's been covered in the course. For the written assessments, what we ask you to do, with the written assessments and the simulation go hand in hand, also with the additional reading. We ask you to make a portfolio on MetaTrader and also to plug that MetaTrader into our partner, DarwinX's platform. Now, DarwinX are really innovative and they have made, a peer-to-peer asset management platform, but part of that is they've also gamified the learning process for traders. So they have on their platform, they can take your data, crunch it, and tell you the areas where you are falling short, where you're excelling, where you need to improve. So we ask you to, first of all, get your MetaTrader, plug into there, and also to make a trading platform on RRE. So that's the options trading. And to also just make one on Google Finance. And in the first part of the course, we want you to just go and buy stocks, trade options, and trade FX or commodities. We want you to start to apply what you're learning in the lectures into your trading, and then after 6 weeks, we ask you to write an assessment of how things have gone in the first part on the trading side of things and on the portfolio management side of things. We also ask you to start to do a bit of role play, where we want to see you pretend to be a fund manager or a trader. Write a pitch document telling me about your market forecasts. You have to pretend that I'm the investor, you're the trader. You're going to tell me how you see the market panning out and how you're going to approach it. We also we have discussion forums where all the students can collate their thoughts together right in an open environment where they can share their thoughts with each other, get feedback on their ideas, and really cultivate their strategies. It's proven to be a fantastic learning tool for students so far. So I thoroughly recommend that if you guys sign up, you make use of it. There's literally nothing better than working as a team. So yeah, moving on. First of all, what are the different subjects being covered? Okay, first of all, we've got assets. My personal belief is that you can't look at anything in isolation. The whole world moves together. Rather than one thing just working independently. There's no way that you can look at FX and not look at commodities and such, or look at FX and fixed income or equities and not commodities. There, everything is related. We can't escape that. So rather than just teaching you one thing, we're going to give you enough of an introduction into all of them to get you up and running. In the first 2 weeks, we cover the assets, and it's a bit lighter content. It's about 1 to 2 hours on each subject. There's additional reading on each subject as well, and we want to whet your appetite into going out and finding about the different areas that you can be adding to your arsenal. Next up, we have the different types of analysis that are out there. So we've got technical analysis. I'm guessing most of you guys know technical analysis. Fundamental analysis, which is looking at the calendars and whatnot out there. We have quantitative analysis, which is looking at taking more of a statistical approach to looking at trading. It kind of ties into technical analysis to an extent. And finally, we look at intermarket analysis. Now, intermarket is what I personally think is really interesting. It does also tie into technical analysis, but it's looking at the relationships between the different asset classes and how they can provide indicators and whatnot for your trading. Next up, we have, this is the second half actually. So at this point in between, after the subjects, we would have done our first assessment. So this is where we really ask the guys to make, as I mentioned before, just previously, put an assessment of how they've traded so far, the lessons they've learned, the mistakes they've made, the pros and cons, and then we want them to apply everything that they've learned formally into a forward-looking proposal. Then we start to make things a bit more interesting. We teach you about the discipline, the wrapping, and the structure that we expect you to take your theory into. So you can learn about how to approach the fundamental analysis or the technicals or the intermarket. But if you don't have the discipline and the structure, it's not that helpful. Well, it is helpful, but it's very dangerous. If you don't have structure and discipline in this industry, then you're going to suffer. So we start off first of all with system trading. We don't take a proprietary view on any of this. So we do not encourage you to take, you have to trade the system here. You have to look at these technical tools. No. We want to just teach you about discipline, about how to structure your system, how to record it, how to make sure that you stick to your rules, and how to put in safeguards for your risk management. The same goes for portfolio management. We're not going to tell you about anything too specifically about how to do it, but we're going to teach you some tools in Excel and some tools that you can use elsewhere, which really just help you to understand your portfolio, how to optimize it. You could have, let's say, 10 stocks, but you could have the weightings in them completely wrong. Everything, asset allocation is a key part of this, knowing when to move your capital around in your portfolio to get the maximum results. There are ways which we can model this. Moving to performance analysis, this really ties into portfolio management in that it is a way of managing of risk management, in that you are looking at, because things aren't as fast moving always as in like day trading, but in portfolio management. So if you look at the performance of your different sectors, you can really delve in and understand the different areas which need to be addressed within your portfolio. Risk management, we're looking at more from a trading perspective. So we're looking at different models of risk management. So you don't risk too much on one trade, or you don't risk too little. That's actually a possibility as well. If you don't risk enough on a trade, you're not getting enough out of it. There are models out there which can give you the discipline to manage your trading. This is something which we really value very highly. It's an excellent section of the course. And to finish it off, we have psychology, because at the end of the day, there's a great story someone told me actually that the euro, one of the most influential people in Euro USD is a 32-year-old sat in London working for Deutsche Bank, and if he has a bad day, he's not going to change the market, but you can see a lot more whipsawing in the market than you might see on another day. So you have to understand that if you get up and trade and you're completely focused, you're in the right place in your mind to really get forward and get involved. This is when you should be trading. If you've been out partying the night before, if you're ill, or you had a dodgy curry and you're not focused, or if you're just upset you had an argument with your girlfriend, and you're going to make irrational decisions. So you need to understand about yourself. So what we try to do is we've got Paul, who he's fantastic with market psychology. It's a big part of his PhD right now, actually. Behavioural finance. Yeah. So he's really drilling down into the cognitive biases which affect everyone and how they can be applied to your trading. And then we have market psychology, which kind of goes into the Warren Buffett, Mr. Market kind of territory, where understanding how other people understand the market is an important part of trading as well. I think the quote was from John Maynard Keynes: "Successful investing is anticipating the anticipation of others." This kind of goes along the lines with technical analysis. It's not like a 1-1 fit, but there are many overlaps in there. Again, this is an area which is only just starting to become prominent within trading education. It's only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and I think it's covered perfectly by Paul. So let's have a look at the student profile of the type of people, because you might be sat here thinking, well, this is great, but it's a postgraduate course. I've never been in finance before. Am I the right person to come with this course? Is this the right course for me? I would say that I'm very confident we can accommodate everyone who wants to take it up. I don't think it's a very demanding course. Maybe that's the wrong word. It is demanding because nothing comes for free. You have to put in some work, but you have to put in some work. But people come from different backgrounds. So we've had people come from healthcare, working in different sections, in different sectors. We've got some people who manage their own fitness clubs. People who work for the NHS. We also have IT professionals working not only in the technical side of it, but working in sales. People actually coming from just a more of a pure sales background. Plenty of engineers. Engineers always do extremely well in this course because they've got that discipline and structure in their mindset and to really find out the best stuff. We've got some people who've just come in from academia. As you might know, as you should know, this course is linked to an MBA or an MSc with the University of Essex Online. So if you want to take this course, you can upgrade it. It counts as a gateway into a full MBA or an MSc. So we have people who are doing their MBA and MScs who want to learn a bit about financial markets. So they've taken this course. We've had civil servants, so people who are they're more involved in the mechanisms of government, and they want to learn about the other force that's in the economy, the financial markets. And they've taken this course as a way to expand their own personal interest and knowledge. And to finish off, finance. Had quite a lot of people from finance. We've had, let me think. We've had two guys from brokerages who wanted to improve their kind of their understanding and their own career prospects. Had one guy who works for a major asset manager over in London, who wanted to do the same. He was working in more of a middle office function, and he wanted to understand what was going on the front office desks of the guys that he's working with, and he really excelled in this course. And we currently have a guy right now who's either in Sydney or New Zealand. He seems to be traveling a lot between the two, but he works as a risk manager on an FX trading desk for one of the larger oceanic investment banks. And his whole purpose for doing this is just to understand what's going on with the guys that he's working with. All of us out there have got aspiration. We're all here because we want to understand markets. We want to make money from markets. We want to learn how to be a trader. And these guys who work in the banks and brokers are no different. They are there. They might have got in. They've been there for a few years. They're working in middle office. They want to improve. They want to get onto that trading desk. They want to become a dealer. And so they're filling in their CV. There might be guys out there who are working in engineering, or they're working in sales, or they're working for the NHS or in civil service, and they want to get that first job into a bank or a brokerage. They don't know how to get it. They might have chosen something else at university, and it doesn't suit where they found their real passion is, because they never got that exposure to the markets previously. We've designed this course to be that ticket, to put on your CV, so you can say, "Hello, Mr. HR. Look, my background is different, but I've taken the effort to take this course. It's a postgraduate level qualification. It's taught by city professionals who know their onions. This is the direction I want to move in." Since we've started this course, we've only had one class who finished. Now we're in the second course. We had one student who I've been able to place at a brokerage here in London. Previously, he was working in the civil service, and now he's working as an FX analyst for one of London's biggest brokers, one of Europe's biggest brokers, actually. So there is that mobility out there, and it's very encouraging that the guys who are the hiring managers saw credence in this course. They saw value in it. And also, I don't want to just push this as something for like career mobility. I'm absolutely sure there are those of you out there who just want to trade yourselves. You might want to do it as a full-time job. You might want to do it in your retirement. You might want to just do it for a few hours after work every day or before work. This is something which we believe can give you that knowledge, in that you're on the road yourself. I think if you're watching this now, and you're trading by yourself, or you're looking to get into it, I think you yourself know this is not easy. It's a tough challenge. It's a tough cookie to crack, the whole trading world. And that if you're honest with yourself, you need to understand this is just the start. But we think this can give you the perfect head start. There's no gimmicks, no gurus, just good, solid, basic, ground level, foundation level education. It can open up doors. It can for you to just say, okay, well, I need to learn in this area here. I might have, you might have spent your whole time looking at fundamentals and not really understood technicals, or vice versa. And then all of a sudden you're thinking about quantitative analysis, or you're thinking about, hedging your exposure using options or using portfolio management techniques to hedge off your risk from your, you might be trading just FX on its own. We want to open doors to your understanding so that when you trade, you trade for longer. You don't put all your eggs in one basket. We want to not only diversify your portfolio, but we want to diversify your knowledge. And so that comes to the end of my what I prepared. I can kind of just talk on this for a long time. I'd like to open the floor up. If there's any questions, more than happy to go over them. We've got about 10 minutes left, I think, and I've nattered on a bit, so I'm going to have a sip of water. And if there's any questions, feel free to put them in there. Maud came with a killer question and a smiley face as well. Fantastic. The course is £1,500 and it's paid in instalments as you go along. If you take the course and you realise it's not for you, you're allowed to get a refund after 21 days, or before 21 days. You can take that refund, so you're not tied into something that's not going to suit you. You can come and have a look at the course, how it works, and you can say, right, this is it. This is going to take me to the next level. I see this as an investment, and compared to what else is out there on the market, this is a good value investment. Or you could say, I've had a look at this. It's a bit above my station. I'm not that interested. I've still got 21 days to get out of it. So, yeah, it's true. Yeah. It's a money back policy where we don't want anyone to come on this course and not enjoy it. We've got fantastic feedback from our students so far, and we don't want to have people who are trapped in a course who are not happy. We will only be successful if our students are happy and successful, and that's our motto. So we want to have full transparency here. Nobody's going to get trapped into a course they don't want to take. The only people that stay on the course are people that recognise that this course is an investment that will make them more money in the long run. What kind of payment do you accept? I think it's mainly done with credit cards, and that's something which we can talk to the university about. If you want to send me your email, I'm going to pop my email in the box here. So any of you who have questions, you can ping them to me directly, FXStreet.com. So yeah, I can check with the university about if it's. I'm almost certainly sure it's all credit card based. Is it possible to try the course before paying? I'd say that I think they ask you to put at least a £500 deposit down. All students pay in a structured format, so they pay £500 every month and a bit. So I think you would pay £500 to start off with, and then if you're not satisfied after 21 days, then you can get a refund. After that, then you're on the course and you're liable for the whole amount, because you've had almost a month. You had a month to find out. Does each student have a tutor? Learning by watching videos. Well, what kind of follow-up tutorship do I offer? I am the tutor. So, as you can see, as you'll find out from my students, I'm very hands-on. I live on Skype, so I'm always there to have calls. I hold bi-weekly kind of sessions with the students. It's almost there are live sessions. It's every couple of weeks we have like a one-on-one classes. What I actually find from the students so far is that people aren't so interested in going to a fixed time. They usually come to me and say, can I have a one-on-one session? And we find the time and we'll spend 1 or 2 hours just talking about some of the questions they have and some of the things they might be having difficulty with on the course. So yeah, there are live sessions. We don't utilize them as much as the one-on-one sessions, which are all the time. So yeah, I'm there. There's full support. And if there's anything that I can't answer, all of our teachers on the course are always very happy to have a chat and help you out. Any more for any more? Is it possible to get the name of your course graduates? Yeah. Do you want to send me an email and I can give you some contact details so you can have a chat with them? Is that okay? I'm not sure they'd appreciate me putting their email addresses and whatnot and just openly, but if you want to have a one-on-one chat with the students, we can definitely arrange it. That's not a problem at all. You've got my email, so yeah, just fire it over. My pleasure. Okay, well, I think we're getting towards the end of our allotted time. We've got about 4 minutes left. I think while we're talking about our students, one of the nice things that I've noticed is that one thing I've tried to impress with you guys so far is that when you first start looking at trading, you just kind of go down the route which is suggested to you, and you don't really think about something that you don't follow what you don't know. Finance can appear very intimidating at times because there's a lot of implied knowledge out there in the reporting, in the analysis, and you just take someone to hold your hands and show you what else is out there. And the reason I say this is because in our first cohort there were two guys actually, and they came to us and they love watching different webinars, and they just couldn't work out why their trading isn't there. They're not making money, but they love their mentors. They love watching this and that. And this is actually no comment, no reflection on their mentors. It's just about how people need to match up what they study to what suits their personality. But these two guys, independently, they've been with technical analysis and whatnot, learning different systems, and it just wasn't clicking. But then when they looked at portfolio management, they started to build portfolios in Excel using ETFs. So they were taking the time element out of it. Maybe one of the problems was that, because trading is more of a fast-moving intraday kind of, it's not actually, but there's a lot of focus on intraday trading, which can see people caught up in making snap decisions, which they regret. But these guys both suited stepping back and looking at the market from a longer perspective and getting their exposure from looking at, building a portfolio with ETFs, and that you're not having to sit there and panic because they're making decisions for the medium to long term rather than having to make a decision over 10 minutes because some data's coming out. But these guys, they really, really worked well with using the Excel models. What time is it forecast? Yeah, so these guys really, really benefited from switching up the way they approach the market. And this is what I hope. This was golden to me because this was the aim of the whole course, to really help people to understand what suits them and how they can make money. So this is from Elibona. Please guide me. Sometimes it's forecast given in minus digit and sometimes plus digit. What is meaning data will go up and down? Is this a question about the course, or do you mean something else? About the calendar? Yeah, I mean it all depends on the measure that's being looked at, but you normally have in a calendar you have previous. So I'll just write this out here. So you have previous, forecast, and actual. Now the key one to watch here, forecast is more, when the actual comes in, people are more interested in about whether the actual beats or matches the forecast rather than the previous. Because when the forecasts are made by the different analysts and experts who are out there, and that is what the market prices into a situation. It doesn't necessarily mean plus or minus. It means about what they expect, and sometimes the reactions that you might expect can be inverse. So if some data comes in fact, let's put up the calendar now. I'll just go and have a look while we're chatting. So let's have a look here. FXStreet economic calendar. Okay, so here, I actually have my list the wrong way round. So we have the previous on the right-hand side. Just get my chat box. So we have the previous on the right-hand side, the consensus in the middle, and the actual. Now, let's just get to, okay, so if we look at here, this is the right day, so Wednesday. Okay, so the next data coming up is in 49 minutes, and it's EIA crude oil stocks change. Now, you can see that, okay, the last one was 2.386 million, and the experts are forecasting it to be 0.7 million down, negative. So when it comes in here into the actual, it will be a reflection of the relationship between the actual and the previous, but the market reaction will be based on how actual comes in against the forecast, because the forecast is what the market is expecting. And if the data is out of line of expectations, that's when we see the real reactions. Hopefully that makes sense. That was a bit of a deviation from what we are kind of talking about, but hopefully that helps. We've got about 3 minutes left. Do we have any more questions about the course before we start to wrap up? No. Okay then. Guys, I'm going to have to say thank you very much for your time. Really, really appreciated you all taking the time to listen to me waffle on about this course. And we are really proud of the course. The feedback we've got is great. We think it's really something which can help you become a better trader. I'll put my email in here again. I think the webinar is recorded. But now you have my email address, so any questions that you have, you can come directly to me. Okay? So, at this point, I'm going to say thank you again for attending and listening. And, yeah, ciao. Any questions, let me know. Bye.